My child is struggling to learn to recite the Quran and my child is not focused. So you want to help your child love to learn to read the Quran and be in Quran classes. Of course, learning comes first. But right now, your child is not motivated to learn to be in Quran classroom. Assalamu alaikum. This is Imam Muhammad Amin, and today, inshallah, I want to share with you a gem and a really, simple solution that we prefer to students in our accelerated Quran reading program today. That I want to share with parents for free to help them understand why some students do not really feel excited about learning the Quran and what are the steps that you can take as a parent at home right today to get them excited to learn to recite the Quran and be in Quran classes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has indeed made the Quran easy for us to learn if we actually have the right mindset and intention to learn it. A lot of parents today are the cause of the motivation themselves for the kids. One of the first important things that we need to know as parents is our intentions for students is really important. And our intentions supersede any other practice or steps that I'm going to give you today. So we actually need to have a sincere mindset, having to have the kid to learn the Quran in the first place. What is the goal? What is the reason why we are actually wanting our students, our kids, to learn to recite the Quran? Is it for people out there to say, oh, child A and B is able to recite the Quran? Or is it for the sake of you being proud of yourself as a mom, saying, oh, my child is doing this and that? Or is it because you want people to praise your child outside? None of those should be a reason for us to have our kids to learn to recite the Quran. The main ultimate goal is so that we train these kids and they're able to live a good life as a Muslim and they're able to live a good life that represent the teachings of Islam and the Quran itself. The first thing that we need to do as a parent at home is we need to lead by example. A lot of the parents do not know how to recite the Quran themselves. And not just that they don't learn to recite the Quran, they don't care about the Quran that much the way they care about other learning for the child. So we need to actually lead by example by learning to read the Quran as well. But in case we are not able to learn to recite the Quran ourselves, we need to actually motivate our kids and give them gifts and encourage them and compensate them from actually attending Quran class. That alone will serve a long way to get your child motivated about Quran classes. So this is the home part and the home factor. So you as a parent at home, aside from having the right intention to get your child to learn to recite the Quran, you also need to lead by example. If you are a parent that you already learned to recite the Quran at home as well, make sure you do tilawa often. Let your kids see you reciting. I have my little baby right now. Whenever I pray sunnah at home or whenever I have to pray at home sometimes, and he sees me praying, he also bow down and do sujood himself. A 1-year-old, imagine, and we all have seen this all the time in our homes. So just think about yourself and think about what do you want your child to be? Do you want them to be like you or do you want them to be like someone else? So lead by example. The other thing that it's not about the parents, is about how you organize the classes. So the classroom environment is the second thing that you need to think of for your child. So your own leading by example is one part, but the learning environment of your child makes the bulk of the work. Aside from your child getting excited, then when your child is now having to learn, how do they learn? So if you are a parent that actually teach your child at home, try to find friends for your child to learn to read the Quran. Find Quran buddy for them. Those kids of their own age that can think together with them and actually learn together. Kids tends to get bored with things, with activities, especially if they don't have any ultimate benefit or instant reward for that activity to be done. So let's have your child learn in a learning environment. So if you're actually teaching your child at home yourself, try to get friends come over on the weekends, or probably you can take your child to a community madrasa, but you need to be careful about the community madrasa sometimes. Many of them have just the kids go there and have fun and not learning anything. So you need to really pick where do you want your child to go learn. Or if probably you're looking for an online option, ask for the kind of environment your child will be learning the Quran in. Right? Is your child learning alone? Which this kind of learning will actually breed bothersome and lack of motivation along the way. Ask for an active learning environment for your child so there will be a long-term connection with the Quran class, not just about the Quran, but the body and those who will be learning together with your child. And of course, in the classroom environment, the kids, of course, needs to be of the same age, the same level, the same location. They're able to blend together, and there shouldn't be too much students in the classroom. You see some madaris, they have 100 students or 20 students and just 2 teachers. How come these kids can learn within 2 hours? No, And that's why a lot of places, the kids go there and spend most of the time just playing. So find a place where there's active learning, your child is engaged, they get activated, they get motivated, they get energized by other people and get excited to learn really. This is what you need. The third thing is about what do you teach your child? A lot of people actually make Quran learning harder for kids. So I've talked about three things right now. I've talked about lead by example. Find an active learning environment for a child. The third thing is what do you teach your child? A lot of parents today do not even understand the business of tajweed, and they don't even know how to teach the kids to achieve the rhythm. It took you many years to learn to recite the Quran. So this is the big challenge. So if you want your child to learn to recite the Quran, you don't want to bombard them with complexities of things that will make them run away from Quran classes when they actually start learning. So you need to build basic information, foundations of things like the letters, the sound, and how they join the word together. You need to focus on the needful. And the way you teach a child is not just about you teaching them. There needs to be some learning habits tracking together. So the way you teach your child and what you teach your child really matters a lot. So if you really need help with this and you want your child to learn in an active learning environment, or maybe you want your child to learn the right thing at the right time so they can learn to recite the Quran fluently while loving to read the Quran, click the link below around this video today to see how we use our accelerated Quran reading program to implement these ideas I've just mentioned to you. If this sounds amazing to you and you really want to try this out, I mean, you're not under any pressure to actually join us in the program. I'm just sharing my own perspective of how kids have learned to recite the Quran fluently with us here in just 4 months in our Quran reading fluency program. So if it is you right now that you have it in a child that's struggling and you really want them to learn to get motivated and learn to recite from any page in the Quran, not just memorizing a few surahs, so they can read anywhere, anytime they want, you need to have them learn the right way. So you need to lead by example. You also need to find them an active learning environment for them to learn. And then you need to teach them what they need, what they should know and learn to read fluently. And this should be done in an organized system with a strategy that the kids will use over the course of a short time to attain fluency. So if you really had enough of this and this sounds something amazing to you, you can do it at home yourself. But if you need help designing this and you need help actually implementing these ideas, tap the link around this video and click and book one of my free parent demo session I do have weekly to share this idea with you and break down the details of how you can implement this at home for your child. Or if you later need our help to do this, we also have a program that you can sign up your child for to get this done, inshallah. So let us know in the chat if you have any comments, if you have any other ideas about how to help students overcome motivation issues with Quran learning. Put it in the comment. We'd love to hear from you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.